Welcome to another episode of that deep, deep, deep shit where we connect the dots. And on today's episode, we're going to get into the metaphysics of the firmament. It's a it's a beat up topic, but I haven't beat it up myself. Tired of hearing about it, so we're gonna do it in a little different fashion tonight. All right. And before I get started, let me say a couple of things. Listen, we need to stop being researchers. Yeah, you heard me right. We need to stop being primarily researchers, and I'll explain. Okay, so we need to be more like scientists, you see, because when you're a scientist, you conduct the experiments yourself versus being a researcher. You read other people's experiments. Now, the dangerous part about this is that someone else's experiment could be wrong. And now you are memorizing and regurgitating wrong experiments and basing facts and knowledge off of wrong experiments and telling other people and spewing it all over YouTube based off of wrong experiments. And there's nothing like doing your own experiments as a scientist in the capacity of a scientist. And only then, after you have conducted your own experiments and observations, comparative study against other people's experiments. And that's what true research or comparative research is. All right? When I drop videos, I don't just drop them because I feel like it or because it's a hot topic. A lot of the times, it's been weeks, months, years of thought, like this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. The metaphysics of the firmament. All right, let's try to find the internet. Okay, here's the internet. And I'll try to zoom in and make sure that you guys can see my screen clearly. If not, then we'll work on it. All right, so let's talk about the definition of the firmament. What is that? All right, let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. I'm trying to. All right, so the firmament. What does it say? It says the heavens or the sky, especially when regarded as a tangible thing. Regarded as a tangible thing. But most importantly, a sphere or world viewed as a collection of people. But let's concentrate on this. A sphere. A sphere. Okay. So remember that. We'll keep that in mind as we move further in the video. All right. All right. Cool. Okay. So let's break down this word firmament. Let's break it down. Let's see what firm or firma means. Well, firma, I can tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. Firma means uh, the earth, or it comes from the word terra firma, which means the dry part of land found on the planet. Okay, so let's take a look at the definition of terra firma, which is the basis of firma. Okay, firma. All right, so terra firma, the dry and solid ground as compared to air or water. So basically, what they're saying is it's not the air, it's not the water, it's the land. It's not fire, okay? We're dealing with elements. It's the land, the dry part, not the part of land underwater. We'll get to that in a minute, but the part of land that is dry. All right. So remember, we're breaking down firma. Okay. Now let's take a look at mint. the suffix of the word mint. All right. All right. Mint. All right. Mint. Okay, so when we're looking at the end of the word mint, like pavement, establishment, it means indicating state or condition or quality, enjoyment. It's the state of enjoying, all right? Embankment, it's the state of the in-bank. Management, the state or process of manage, all right? Okay. Cool. So what have we learned so far, ladies and ghetto men? We have learned that terra means sphere or firmament, right? Means sphere, okay? Firma means land, and ment is the state of land. So this says, just by using simple research of etymology, this means the sphere of the state of the land. The sphere. Okay. Let's keep going. This is simple. This is light work. This is light work. I'm playing right now. This is light work. All right. So, what do people think the firmament is? They think it's a dome. But there's a difference between a dome and a sphere. Right. So, let's see what dome means. Okay. Dome. All right. Let's take a look. I like saying that. Let's take a look. A dome. Let's go ahead and skip this. A stately building. No, we're going to go ahead and skip that. All right. Let's jump down to number 4 just for shits and giggles. All right. A form of crystal composed of planes parallel to a lateral axis that meet above in a horizontal edge like a roof. Okay? That's just for shits and fucking giggles. Shits and giggles. All right? Let's talk about this. A large hemispherical roof or ceiling. Now, here we go. This is the word that we want to key in here. Okay? Hemispherical. I'm going to enlarge that so y'all can get a real good look at hemispherical. Okay? Because what we're going to see is the word sphere right there. Okay? Right? But before the word sphere, we're going to look at the word hemi. Now, when we say hemi, we're not talking about a Dodge engine. We're not talking about a Charger. We're not talking about a Ram truck. We're talking about hemi. What does hemi mean? Let's take a look. I like saying that. Let's take a look, because that's what we finna do. We're gonna take a look. Hemi means half. Combining form meaning half. Used of compound words. Now, if a hemisphere, if dome is hemisphere, that means it's half of a sphere. But here's the thing. Firmament don't mean dome. So where are people getting dome from firmament? Firmament means sphere. Now, let's Google what a sphere is. Let's Google that. Let's Google that. All right. Every picture that I see of a sphere is 3-dimensional. I don't see a half of nothing, a dome, none of that. Okay? That's not what we're looking at here. A firmament is a sphere, folks. Okay? And the reason why I bring that up is is because the argument of if the earth is flat is a big topic and people are losing their minds, okay? And you get a lot of people on social media, YouTube, Facebook, whatever the case may be, Snapchat, Kick, whatever. Hey, wherever y'all into, right? Who keep pushing this agenda, and we're going to talk about the agenda in a minute, who keep pushing this agenda that the earth is flat. Guess what? You don't know. You have no clue what the earth looks like. You have no clue. You've never been in the outer atmospheres. You have no clue. Zero. No clue. No clue. So, and then here's something else. Just like how I don't have no clue, you don't have no clue. Okay? But what I do very well is base things off of observation and experiments that I've conducted myself. Then I compare to you guys' experiments called research. All right? Now, if the earth is triangle, square, trapezoid, it really don't matter because it's encased in a sphere. And let me just send this shot out real quick. Wow. Send a shot out real quick. Not trying to disrespect, but for all these people who spend all this time of research about the degrees of the latitude of the horizontal horizon and all that, listen, you can't even trust your eyes and what you see with your eyes if you don't even know how your eyes work. You can't trust what you calculate because you're calculating something that's beyond physics. If this is a trapezoid in a sphere, something created it beyond your knowledge or human perception, beyond physics. So you're using physics to explain something beyond physics. It'll never work. It'll never happen. And wow, another shot. For those who spend all of your days, researching the flat earth, you have to be careful when you watch these people because they don't talk about anything else. How can you know anything else if that's all you research? Of course, you're going to find every evidential fact or proof that you need to prove that the earth is flat because that's all you're doing. You're not doing anything else. Just like people who are stuck in religion. All they do is flip through the pages of the whatever religious text they're in, and that's all they know. So of course, they're right. Because that's all they know. So be careful when you're dealing with people who that's all they do. Go on a YouTube page, it's 200 videos on flat earth. And no videos of them going outside. Wow, I didn't mean to do it. All right. Moving on. Now, I wanted to show you something because I thought that this was pretty interesting when I thought about it. Snow globe. Snow globes. If you really think about it, I don't know, let's pick this one. That's a good one, right? This one. How about that? That's a great one, right? You pick this picture here, right? Now, this could be what the earth is shaped like, a house. Who knows? But it is encased in a sphere. Now, I don't think that this sphere is glass or hard. Let's go back to one of these definitions that I said that was quite funny. I said, just for shits and giggles. Where is it? Dome. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hey, here we go. A form of crystal composed of planes parallel to a lateral axis that meet above the horizontal edge. Crystal. What is a crystal? A crystal is, let's just say, a crystal is glass, right? But what is glass? Glass is sand. What is sand? Sand is particles. Now let's break down particles. Particles are fragments, not whole pieces. So when we're talking about the sphere that encompasses this, whatever shape this is, who knows, right? They're made out of particles, okay? They're made out of particles. Now, here we go. The different layers of the particles. Can I make that big so y'all can see that? The different layers of the particles. Now, this is where it gets very complex. There's all of these words that end with sphere that give descriptions of layers or levels, because it's levels to this shit. You dig what I'm saying? So even here, you have the biosphere. Now, the biosphere, they say, is the part of the earth where life exists. Includes all of the living organisms on Earth. The biosphere is in the desert, rainforest, has the most diversity of life in the biosphere. Yada yada yada. You have the geosphere. The geosphere is mostly solid, rocky part of the Earth, extends from the center of the core to the surface of the crust. Locations: the geosphere in the rocky part of the interior of the Earth. Fun facts, yada yada yada. Okay, moving on. So I just brought that up really quick because they're describing layers of a sphere. Now, when they talked about the land isn't perfectly circled. Now they're giving you a clue. They're giving you a clue. And I'll touch on this later in the video. They're giving you a clue that they're more so speaking of planes, different densities, if you will. We'll get into that later. I'm jumping ahead. Let's get back to the spheres. Okay, the spheres. So as you can see, even here, the cryosphere, the atmosphere, the geosphere, the biosphere, the hydrosphere, all talking about these different levels, all right? Oh, and just food for thought, just really quick. Pow! You see this picture right here? This is, of course, not a real picture, okay? Let me be clear. Let's be clear, okay? This ain't a real picture. Okay, but this is the closest depiction that I've found of what could possibly be the shape of the Earth. All right, I'm not here to argue with you about it because I don't give a fuck, actually. But all right, you see here how the clouds sit over this rocky part, and you know that this is not flat. As this rocky part goes deep into the water, you know that it's not flat. The water covers the part of the rocks that are under the water, so on and so forth. As you can see around here, you can see the light sphere of particles that surrounds whatever shape this is. Who knows? But it's all kept together by something that people don't believe in anymore called gravity. Now, I dropped a 3-part video on that. And if you didn't watch all 3 parts, let me sum it up real quick. By the time you get to the 3rd part of the video series, I talk about how gravity is a dimension that coagulates all 4, not 5, 4 of the elements: earth, wind, water, fire. Well, yeah, we'll just throw fire in there but for the case of this video, just like I told you in the beginning, when they talk about when they talk about the firma, meaning the land, as it being a sphere itself, and then you talk about the geo or the hydro being the water. These are all different levels, okay, that gravity adheres to in a dimension and compacts it. Okay, not meant for here. Go back and watch it. I'm not even gonna wait. I'm just going to keep it pushing. Anyways, I might use this as the thumbnail just to piss people off. Maybe. All right. So we have different levels of the sphere. Now, let's see. We're going there. 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 Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Atoms. Each of these, I didn't do another one of these. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me see. Planet spheres. Let me see. That's not what I'm looking for. Hold on. Let's see. Planet. Let's see. Levels of atmosphere. Let's do that. All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Sounded like Seti and Pharaoh. Here we go. Here we go. Let's take a look at it. So you have all these different levels of the spheres. Okay, you have the troposphere, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, and they had left some out in here. They left a whole bunch out. This is probably a bad one to use for an example, but I just put up one real quick. But each level here has a different density of molecules and atoms. This is why certain variations of light, different spectrums of light can only penetrate some of these levels. Okay, now I'm going to get to the importance of these levels a little later in the video. I'm going to try to wrap this up as quick as possible. Troposphere, troposphere, stratosphere, meso, thermosphere. There, I'm looking for the ionosphere, because if you even think about, none of these are showing the ionosphere. So as you can see, there's different levels here. The aurora borealis happens in the thermosphere. This is where all the electromagnetic activity gets trapped here in the thermosphere. This is why when you go to the Alaska or wherever that is, and you can see the northern lights, that's all electromagnetic activity there. Okay, just more examples of the different levels of the spheres. Now, here may be a lie. You do catch lies, and I'm going to point out a few lies in this video. They say that satellites float around in this area of the spheres. Now, mind you, and then you see the spaceship here in this level of the sphere. This is my point. They can't go. Let me look at the camera so y'all can understand this. I'm not saying NASA don't lie. They lie their motherfucking ass off. They ain't been to no moon. They can't go past the spheres. There's certain levels of the spheres they can't go. They could float around outside and shit, but they can't go into space. What? Due to one reason that's very important, something called the quarantine. The ancient sea, look, this is what I mean by you people and y'all flat earth shit. Study some more shit, then come back. You have your answers. Okay, so the quarantine, okay? The quarantine is something that the ancestors and the gods have, or the people or persons or entities, deities in place that have created this, have put in place to make sure there has been no outside interference and no escaping from the quarantine. Newsflash. Around 2012, 11, 13-ish, because who knows what time it really is. We have no idea. The quarantine was lifted. This is what the whole shift is based on. It's based off the lifting of the quarantine. Okay? And this is important of why all of this hoopla hysteria is in place right now. I'll get to that a little later in the video. So, anyhow, any fucking how, quarantine has been lifted. Now, listen, If you can't even understand how light works, if you don't even understand how your eyes work, you don't understand nothing. Okay? So start there before you start talking about the size and the distance of the planets and the stars. What? Start with you. Start with yourself. Okay. Now, this right here, they say, is what an atom looks like under a microscope. Okay? You see the shape? It's not perfectly circle. It's not perfectly a sphere, right? But it's kind of roundish. And the reason why I bring that up is because is because that you have to look at the macro or the microcosm to understand the macrocosm. So if we could look deep into the cellular or molecular structure and see certain shapes, it's almost safe to say that we can see, or that everything repeats itself in a pattern. Um, okay, so if we look at the micro and see these same shapes, it's almost safe to say that the macrocosm is something very similar. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, let's get back to this.
From the University of California in Los Angeles have been getting up close and personal with nanoparticles of platinum, just a few nanometers across. Each of the tiny dots you can see here are actually individual platinum atoms, but researchers didn't stop at a two-dimensional picture. By imaging over 100 slices of the nanoparticle at different angles, then removing the noise with a special filter, they were able to map the location of almost every atom. The information was used to create a three-dimensional reconstruction of the whole particle in unprecedented detail. It may look blurry, but this particle is estimated to contain over 27,000 atoms, and so, like flies in a swarm, they appear to merge together.
Okay, all right. Reason why I played that clip real quick was to confirm that yes, we have been lied to. No, the pictures that we see of the Earth aren't correct. Just like how they had to piece together that picture to find that, they gotta pretty much do the same thing with the Earth. But here's a quick question, quick quiz time, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. Well, the question is, well, why isn't there any pictures of the Earth? How come there's no picture? What are they hiding? I'm gonna tell you why ain't no pictures. I'm gonna tell you right now, because they don't want to show y'all the big donut hole that's at the top of this motherfucker. That's why. Okay, all right. You talk about flat Earth, and then you talk about hollow Earth. That's more. That's more of a tangible concept. Okay, you want to know why that's more of a tangible concept? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let me go to Google real quick. Yeah. Ancient. Oops. Ancient. No. No. You know what? I'm not even finna Google it. This is common knowledge. There are many cultures. Hey, let me get up and close and personal. There are many cultures. Okay. That are ancient, okay, indigenous people of the land who talk and speak about coming from inside of the earth. Their ancient ancestors come from inside the earth. The Native Americans, which we know are melanated beings, that you already know the story. The pygmies, just across the world, there's ancient tales of origins of people coming out of the earth. Okay, so people are in there. People been in there for a long time. Okay, so this whole barrier that you think is some type of thing, It's cool. I'm not finna get on y'all. That's not even the point of the video. Let's keep it pushing. All right. Here is an image of a hydrogen atom. Do you see it? And I bet you if this was moving, it would be really blurry. Kind of like if you looked at a star or planet through a telescope. It would probably look just like this. I'm just saying, dog. I'm just saying. All right, let's keep it moving. Here is some more pictures of hydrogen and it being observed in a wave form. Now, I'm not going to go into particles and wave experiments here. I should, but the video's probably already running really long. Let's keep it moving. How the eye works. Now, listen. Let me get up close and personal. Wow. Hold on, bring it back. What? Okay, I'm just playing. The first firmaments that you have to observe and know about are your cells, the microscopic particles that are in your body. Learn those firmaments first. Now, the next firmament that you need to understand how it works, is your eye. Yeah, that's the next firmament. There's so many levels to the firmament, you have to understand them all before you start speaking on them. Let's move on. So yeah, if you look, hey, there's your sphere, and there's even your hemisphere. If you want to call it a dome, we'll call it your pupil or your cornea. Yeah, that's what we'll call it, your cornea. Right? It's awfully funny that that looks like this. What? I told you, you got to learn all the levels, because you know what? It's levels to this shit. Okay? Okay, so remember, your cells, your eye, the earth, the water, the air, all different levels. Yeah, all different levels. Okay, so learn how your eyes work. Learn about that firmament next. All right. Okay, so the ancients. The ancients, there's no way. Hold on, man. Let me get up close and personal with y'all real quick. Again. Okay, again. The ancients, all right. The ancients don't have no depiction of anything looking flat. Or now, listen, and I'm not. This is not even about flat Earth. This is about the firmament. I'm just saying, if the ancients was in on the hoax and the manipulation and the lies, then let me know. Show me that scripture on the wall, carved in stone. Because this is what I see carved in stone. I'm seeing I'm seeing this. This is what I'm seeing carved in stone. I mean, I don't know. I guess they was lying too. Look, it was the Sumerians and NASA. The matter of fact, the Sumerians is NASA. Okay, how about that? The Sumerians is NASA, and everybody is in on it, and they're lying to the people. All right. Oh! I didn't mean to do y'all like that. Oh, my bad. Is that a depiction of Horus carved in stone with a not a disc, not a carouseling spotlight, a sphere on his dome representing the sun, because it's a sphere. Just like a lot of stuff is spherical, because firmament means sphere. Remember that. This is the whole point of this whole video. Firmament means sphere. Let's keep it pushing. All right. Okay. Look, we got the monkey gods and the scarab beetle with the spheres. I'm gonna show you what this means in a minute, because you know what that means? I'm gonna show you what that is in a minute. That is this. See, you guys are getting caught up in what y'all getting caught up. Y'all getting caught up in this. This is what y'all getting caught up in. But this is a misinterpretation This is a misinterpretation of the spheres of this. This is what it is. There's levels to these spheres. There's levels. Okay? There's levels. All right? It's like this picture here is showing you the levels. And you ever wonder who Atlas is, or who Atlas is supposed to represent? Atlas represents gravity. When you see the flat earth picture, and this ain't about flat earth. Let me stop saying that. I'm sorry. This ain't about flat earth. I'm sorry. This is about the spheres and the firmament, because it's not the same thing. Because who knows what shape the earth is? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? This is about the firmament, because you guys love the firmament. Okay. He represents gravity. Okay. Cool. Let's keep it pushing. All right. Let's keep it pushing. I know you've all seen little toys that have these little planetary spheres and diagrams. Here's something from an ancient drawing or depiction, not even ancient, but just very old vintage, of how the diagrams of how this universal thing works. And when I say universal, I'm saying this based off of old ancient knowledge, man. Old ancient knowledge, all right? Let's keep it pushing this tight. Okay, this tight. Now, remember when I showed y'all this? The scarab beetle representing the reincarnation and the rebirth of the spheres. See, this is what I'm saying about the hieroglyphics, which y'all should go watch that video on newmysteryschool.com. Got a nice little video about encoding data. So anyways, this here is really, the connecting of spheres is really talking about, talking about this. These are the spheres of the tree of life. These are the spheres of the Kabbalah. Now, this represents Malkuth is the earth, and all these Yesod is the moon. So all of these spheres sit inside of spheres. This is why space travel is not completely possible. And when I say completely, I mean physically in a machine. No. That's not how we do it. And I'm going to touch on that in a minute. I'm so serious about this. Guys, getting on my nerve. Anyhow, so these are the spheres. This is what you would also want to identify as Jacob's ladder, how to climb and get in contact with the higher gods. Each sphere is connected to a planet, or what we call a planet. But remember, what we think are planets are really inside of us as well. That's just a bonus. So, as you can see, the collective consciousness also resides in this top sphere here. You have Keter, Chokmah, Bina. This is what you call the Holy Trinity. Oh, you know what? I'll save that for another video. We're just talking about the firmament here. My bad. All right, so cool. Here's another depiction of the spheres of the Tree of Life. Someone drew that. I think that's, oh, and they put Jacob's ladder right there. I didn't even see that. Nice. Nice. Okay, so cool. Tree of Life. We've seen this before. And it's funny how this, at the bottom, Malkuth, the earth, also looks like the eye. Funny. We're talking about the spheres and all this is the same shit. Yeah, let's go back to what y'all like. Y'all like this? That's what y'all like? That's what it is? Okay. All right. So, yeah. So here's the Tree of Life, and this is another depiction of the spheres. Now, it's really my understanding, overstanding, understanding, whatever you want to call it, that the tree of life is really not more so like this. Let's see, let's close that down. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see, tree of life. Boom, 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 boom. That's a bad one. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, I don't like that one either. That's a bad one. Let's see. Looking for a good tree of life. Okay. All right, we'll go with this one. I don't really think that that the tree of life is this, but this is more like a map. I truly think that all the spheres sit inside of each other. You know what I'm saying? But there's a map to get to each level of spheres, and that's what we call Jacob's ladder. And the levels will probably look something like that. To be honest with you, the celestial spheres, right? But let's keep in mind that this shit can get deep, because this is the tree of life also, and all of these spheres. This is the flower of life and all of these spheres. And then you have Metatron's cube and all of these spheres. So when you start dealing with sacred geometry, that's your roadmap to navigate to the spheres. I'm being really advanced right now, but I'm sorry. I know y'all wanted a flat earth video. This really ain't a flat earth video. I know y'all wanted that, but this really ain't what this is. And I'm gonna tell you why right now. Now we finna get serious. Now we finna get serious. I'm gonna tell you why right now. Now we finna get serious. Alright. The reason why this is not a flat earth video, this is a firmament video, and it's not the same thing, is because if you ask any person that subscribes to the flat earth, I would dare you to ask them, do they have a connection with their ancestors? Do they meditate and connect with their ancestors? I would dare you to ask any one of them, and I'm pretty sure the answer would be no. Because if we are trapped inside of a dome, then where are the ancestors? Where are they? Who are they? You have to answer that. You have to answer that. You can't just make statements and claims and don't answer what is nature? If we are trapped in a dome, then flowers growing out of the ground, babies being born, these machines that we're in, these geological electromagnetic flesh machines that we're in. What is that? How is that created? How? You see, this whole agenda or doctrine of being in a dome is nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. That's right there, right? There's nothing new under the sun. And this doctrine is being pushed because the firmament, now we're going metaphysical now. Y'all ready? Because the firmament, not the firmament, the quarantine has been lifted. We now have access to these outer spheres. And like I said, they're not travelable. They're not travelable, if that's even a word, by machine. The way you gain access to these outer spheres is through spirit and soul. So if you think in your mind that you're in a dome, you will not be able to connect with your ancestors. You will not be able to connect with the higher levels of capabilities that you now have access to since the quarantine has been lifted. This is more so a way of keeping us shackled without the shackles. If you control their mind, you control their body. This is old. This is old game. It's pimp game. Pimp game 101, that's what I'm saying. You can't trust someone who just talks about one thing all day. If you don't know about pimping, you don't know about home, you don't know about none of that, you don't know about control the mind, control the body. Simple. Okay? We have access to some serious shit that they do not want you to have access to. You want to talk about X-Men and mutations and mutants? Yeah, yeah. But if you don't open your DNA for it, you don't get that. And you may not get it. This is me also veering off into another future video about mutations. The mutations may not come with you. The mutations may come with your children. But you start the DNA change. If your DNA doesn't change because you're locked and shackled, your kids will not get the mutations of their upgrades that they're supposed to have. The upgrades are here. This is not a flat earth video. This is not. Again, you cannot describe or explain something that is beyond physical, that were made by ancestors and gods with human explanations. You guys are arguing like humans. You're arguing like humans. You're debating like humans. But you call yourself potential gods. This is not a flat earth video. The DNA upgrades are yours. You have to claim them. But first, you have to break the shackles. You got to. All right. I know I missed some shit. There's a lot of shit that I wanted to say, but I'm done. Whatever. Whatever, man. Hey, listen. Oh, one more thing. One more thing. Hold on. One more thing. All right. Remember when I showed you this, right? I showed you this stuff. Well, the deities or entities that you call gods, they live in these rings, these spheres, firmaments, right? They live in these firmaments, right? And to have access to them, you first of all, you have to stop being controlled. We pray to a lot of these different deities that live in these different spheres. You can call them whatever you want to call them. We're not going to get into their names here. But that's where they are. That's where your ancestors are. Your big mama that passed on, hopefully she didn't made it to the spheres, but there's levels. Some spirits get stuck, like in the stratosphere, atmosphere. Because remember, those are where the different light rays, different densities or different spectrums of light can only make it past certain levels of the spheres. Same thing when the lights in your soul, lights in your body pass away. When they pass away and they're trying to leave, sometimes they get stuck on these different levels of spheres. Spirits, spirit world, spirits are up there. The density of the fragments of light. Because remember, oh, I didn't drop that video yet. See, I got so many videos that y'all ain't even seen. Oh man. Okay, look. I'm not gonna go that far. Okay, so just know that all the different spheres are different densities. That light can go back and forth. Okay, and some of these deities that you call God or gods are in these spheres. Okay, so the point is that we're not supposed to, well, you can pray to them if you want. That's up to you. But these are energies. They're not they're not you know, hey, I'm going to punish you. That's not what that is. That's not what that is. Um, religious texts give you these rules to either control them or be controlled by these energies. So the whole thing is to access each level of the sphere and control that energy. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to control that energy, not, oh, that's not how it works. Oh, nah, you control it and you use it. You're supposed to use it. All right. All right. Now I'm done. Like I said, this is not a flat earth video. It's metaphysics. Meta, beyond physics. All right, man, I'm gone. That's it. Done.